Hi guys, how's it going? My name is Sophia, and just this past weekend, really last weekend, I actually lost my job. So unfortunately, it was not my fault. Actually, I shouldn't say unfortunately it's not my fault, but it was not my fault. So unfortunately, somebody who was kind of out to get me is somebody that is just listened to even though they're not respected. And because of this, my manager let me go. It was a misunderstanding, it was a mistake that I made, and I just honestly, I didn't really do anything wrong. So I have plans, I have a lot of plans, and that's why I am not super overwhelmed. And I think right now I'm just kind of going with the flow and seeing what life has to offer. So recently, I actually started to watch those van life videos again because, if you know me, then you know that I love to travel. I travel the world, I travel the country. I'm always kind of traveling, and I don't actually make the funds for the life that I live. So I am trying to transition myself into a place where I can start making those funds, or I can start to afford it a little bit better. And so this time next year, I am hoping to be living in a van, or maybe in my car, or something that's a little bit more affordable than what I'm paying in rent and bills when I'm only here half the time anyway. So, my dog is chasing her tail underneath my bed, and I hope she comes out of there because she just hit her little head. You can hear her. Anyway, so right now I am working on building a little shelf space for my vehicle, and it's actually one of those 2x3 slotted shelves that you can get from just the store. And I actually had originally bought this because I had found an apartment and I was getting it all set up. I was so excited. I've only been here a month, guys, and already this is happening to me. So instead of being discouraged, I'm gonna do exactly the opposite, and I'm gonna start getting ready for a life that I want for me. So whether it's to eventually build out a van or a bus or something, I think that would be amazing. And I have my dog and me, and you know what? I think we can do this. And I think I have such a good spirit about it because I feel like I've seen this coming for a while. Did you see this here? So I'm not too worried about what's gonna happen. So what really happened was I was working as a server in a restaurant, and I'd only been here for a few months, but I was living with a friend and I was like, I couldn't stay there anymore. I was going nuts because I like to have my own space, and I was basically living on a couch, and I didn't enjoy that. I don't enjoy living on somebody else's couch. If I'm living with somebody else, I mean, couches are fine, I think, but at this specific house, there were also two other dogs. So there were three dogs, and the other two dogs were big dogs. And since I was staying on the couch, I was staying on the same level as all the dogs. So I'd wake up to this tippy tapping, louder than that every morning, at 7 whatever o'clock, and then maybe some growling or howling because one of them was a husky. And so I had my routine of just letting one out and then letting my dog out and then putting her in her crate, letting the big dogs out, and then letting my little one kind of roam the downstairs. However, I also really got tired of doing that. And sometimes my friend would come downstairs, and she's Ukrainian. I love her so much. I love this family so much. But she would come down yelling and at the dogs, and then telling me that basically I need to do better. And I know that's just something that Slavic people will say because I grew up in a partially Slavic household, and I know they're like that, but when I'm 29, at the time when I was 29, the fact that I was still living with somebody who wasn't even my own family, but then having to live by all of this criticism, it didn't sit right with me, even though she was trying to come at me in the best way possible. Like, I love her for trying to guide me, but I think at that time, I didn't want to hear, oh, I'm doing it wrong. I was just a little bit tired of hearing that, you know? So, I ended up applying to housing, and I'd been looking at a lot of different places throughout the last several months, so I figured I was gonna stay. I just didn't realize everything that had happened was going to happen. Of course. So I was looking at all these apartments. So I had to change so that you guys could see me working over here. So anyway, I was looking at all these apartments and they were just a little bit too out of my price range. And what's ironic about this whole thing was that I wasn't even supposed to stay in this area. I was actually supposed to go to the big city, the nice little big city of Chicago. I was supposed to go to Chicago. And the reason that I didn't was because I was like, oh, I have this amazing job and I don't want to be the person who quits in 2 months. Funny how that turned out, huh? So now I'm upset with my decision about staying because of everything that ended up happening. And now I'm stuck here for the next year. But instead of getting discouraged about all of that happening, I'm gonna take it as a lesson. So, and also I'm gonna take this time to get my thoughts together. You know, I have a year, so hopefully I can find a job or some sort of income so that I can pay for all of this. But within the year, I'm hoping that I can kind of just figure out what my next step is going to be, where I'm going to go, because I know I'm not going to stay here. I can't keep dealing with this happening and feeling the feeling of unhappiness for just so I can be happy for a moment to see my friends. I feel like life is so short. We all know that, right? Life is so short, and I don't have time to work a job all the time because I can't. Every time I do, I go crazy because I realize that I'm just wasting my entire life away working a job that I'm not happy at, that I'm probably only mediocre at because I'm not happy about doing it. I'm a creative person. I like to work with my hands. I like to be an artist. I like to work with other people. I like to do all these things that don't even pay the bills half the time. You know, I love to dance and make communities and make other people happy and change other people's lives, you know, and I can't necessarily do that at such a mundane company or one that is just in a teeny tiny town, you know. And so that's why I'm gonna do this and just work and create things to fit in whatever vehicle, whatever lifestyle is going to come into my life next, and also pay off my debt, because I have a lot of debt for me specifically, and I can't seem to get rid of it, and then I add more onto it, even though I'll be paying off $1,000 a month or something like that. But then I buy something else that I actually do need at that time because of all the things that I would buy that I didn't need. There we go. So, anyway, now I'm dealing with the fact that I don't have a job. I have applied to another job, and I hope that I get a response back, but I guess we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of trying to figure it out, and I'm gonna eventually get another job so that I can continue to fund my travels, but also fund my dream of living on the road, which is crazy to me that I can't believe I used to dream about this, and maybe because of all of my life decisions, now I actually have to do it. So it's not too insane for me. I figured something like this was going to happen. I just didn't realize I would actually be forced into it. And maybe that's the call that I needed. But I want to hit the road and end up helping people and saving people's lives, and changing and inspiring people and continuing to dance and be an artist and do all the things. So, I don't know. Oh, I did that wrong. So anyway, I don't know how exactly I'm going to handle all this, but it's going to be fine. I know that it sucks, but I know there's also a lot of people who are losing their jobs right now, and we're just trying to figure out what to do, because this economy sucks, and everything is so expensive. Living is so expensive. Just existing is expensive, and then also being able to support everybody else and do the things that you want to do. And I mean, it's literally insane out there. I missed that one too. What the hell? Alright. One more actual one. I don't know. I know they gave us a bunch of these little things to knock in, but I don't really want to have to do it. Maybe I'll just do a couple more on each side, but I'm probably going to finish the video after I do this and then show you what this thing looks like, because I am actually running out of space on my phone, which I actually have a better camera, but I don't really love it as much as I thought I would, and so I think I just need something different, or I just need to get used to actually working on it. But I'll give you a second after I finish this backing, and I will stand it up so you can see what it looks like, and then I'm gonna put it in my car and then put stuff in it and get my little bins and put the bins in, and it's gonna be great, and my car is gonna get started. Everything is gonna be great. Alright, so I finally finished it, and I have all of the necessary nails in the back, and I think I didn't mess up anymore. I guess we'll see once we turn it over, but this is what it looks like right now. With all of the little nails, I just added 8 on all of them. 1, 2, 3. So I guess let's see what it looks like, and hopefully it stays in one piece or something. Oh. So probably most of these I'm going to put my clothes, my favorite books, and just other necessary items that I need to put in there. Pretty cool. So another thing about living this nomadic lifestyle is that I tend to have collected over the years the things that I've needed to eventually stay in my car if I need to, or if I'm camping or whatever. So just to prepare for the future, I'm going to start putting everything in my car in the way that it's gonna look by the time I'm living there. And I think I want to build out a platform so I can put stuff underneath, or wait until I get a van or minivan or whatever, and then actually start building from there. So I had to turn off the TV because it was distracting. All right, so first of all, I actually have, is this gonna be the first thing or is this gonna be the first thing? I think this is. Okay, so I have a Jeep, so the bottom is really hard, so I'm gonna put a little bit of cushion in there, and sometimes I have more and sometimes I don't. But right now I'm a little bit limited to what I have for cushioning. So I got this from the store, and it's just like a thick yoga mat, basically. And then on top of that, I am gonna put one of these, which is a camping mat, which I also bought at the store. It's like maybe twin size, both of them. And then on top of that, I'm gonna put a sleeping bag, which is so old and so stained. So it's just gonna go the bottom mattress, and then the mattress pad, and then my sleeping bag, and then I'll put blankets and pillows and things. But it's summer now, so I don't need a ton of things, maybe just a thin blanket for the car, which there's already one in there for my dog. Right, thanks for chatting with me, guys. Hopefully I'll be back, so with some sort of update, whether I have a job or I've figured out life or whatever, but we shall see. Anyway, follow along on my journey to raise a bunch of money to pay off my debt and to start traveling so I can start dancing again. Okay, bye guys.